Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. In this video, I'm going to give you an early preview of a game called MegaFactory Titan. Now, this game was brought to my attention by a longtime subscriber of the Glidercat channel, and I'm grateful for the heads up. I researched thousands of games, and somehow this one got through me. At least over 1,000 a month I browse typically. And this one somehow got through. I'm not sure where it came from. I never know whether or not to mention people's names in my videos, so I typically don't. But if that person wants to raise their hand in the comments and claim credit for making me aware of this game, I'll confirm it in the comments as well. After learning about the game, I quickly requested and was granted a press key from the developer, so my thanks goes out to him for that. MegaFactory Titan is slated for release on February 23rd, 2022. At the time of making this video, the game has not yet been released. I'm recording this maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 days before the release date. So all the footage you see here is pre-release gameplay. Keep that in mind, especially if you're watching this several months after it posted, since a lot may have changed. I know the game's being actively worked on by the single developer behind it. So far, I've played MegaFactory Titan for about 3 hours, and I really, really like it. You can tell immediately when you start playing this game that a lot of work has been put into it, again, by that single developer who's working on it. It ticks all the boxes, so to speak, and I think you'll come to see that from watching this video, that it's just a well put together game. Now, in addition to this early preview video, I'm planning to create a Let's Play series for it. I'm having a lot of fun, so I want to keep playing. So definitely watch for that if this game looks like something you'd be interested in and you want to see more of the actual gameplay. Now let's take a look at the official game trailer, then we'll come back and talk more about MegaFactory Titan and kind of get into some of the details. Before we do that, real quick, let me thank Glidercat patrons and channel members. You are the folks that make this content possible, and I really, sincerely, truly appreciate your contributions to the channel. Thank you so very much. If anyone else would like to join the very exclusive club of Glidercat patrons, you can find links to do so in the description. Again, I really appreciate that support. Helps me have time to work on these videos and bring this content to you. Okay, with that out of the way, let's take a look at that trailer. That was the trailer. I think the trailer looks great because the game itself looks great. Just very cool, especially at night with the lit up maglev tubes here. Let's dive in a little and get an overview of what MegaFactory Titan is all about. Now, when you first start the game, you're going to have to pick a faction. Now, in the pre-release version of the game that I'm playing, there are 7 different factions to choose from, and each faction offers its own combination of starting equipment and perks. There's different, vehicles that you'll start out with, or buildings you'll start out with, and then different buffs, say things to reduce your costs or increase your productivity. So you pick one of the 7. Once you've got that chosen, you next pick your difficulty setting for the game. And there's 3 difficulty levels that you can choose from. Now, the lowest difficulty level removes enemies entirely. I'm not sure if down the road there might be a way to disable the enemies, but keep everything else difficult. Right now, your only option without enemies is the lowest difficulty. That may or may not be what you want. Maybe it might be too easy. But we'll just have to see. Right now, you got 3 choices. Now, with the difficulty level picked and your starting faction or your faction picked, you then jump right into the game. Once you get started, you're presented with a short initial tutorial that does a really good job walking you through what you need to do to start building your factory empire. I think most factory gamers out there are going to find MegaFactory Titan to be very intuitive, as I have. I had absolutely no trouble coming up to speed. Within the first, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes of playing, I felt like I knew what I was doing, I knew what I had to do next, and kind of knew what the game was all about. Now, there's a ton of complexity, there's a lot of stuff to do, but it's just very, very intuitive, at least in my opinion. So like most of the games in this genre, you're going to be harvesting resources, refining those into products and materials that you can either trade or use to further build out your factory. You can see here, if I just scroll around, you can see we've got an ilmenite resource here, which refines into titanium. We've got pentlandite, which refines into nickel. We've got a hydrocarbons lake here. I'm not sure what that's used for. I haven't gotten to that part yet. You've got different types of sand. Here's a limestone sand deposit, huge. You can refine into concrete or agrochemicals. Tons of materials. And what you can do with these, let's see if you can click on them. No, I can't. Yeah, if I click on it here, over here at the top left, you can see, I can tell this is limestone. If I click limestone, boom, it sends us into this info links display. And this tells us how that material, limestone in this case, is produced, showing us you can do it through an excavator or a hydraulic monitor or a blasting drill or an in situ leach mine or a borehole drill. All of those methods will get you limestone. And then it shows you it takes a certain amount of power and time, and out comes the limestone. And then on the right side here, it'll show you some traits. So this says extracted from the ground and where you might find it. And then more of the same, I guess. And then it shows you what limestone is used to make. So it's optionally used in all of these different products. Boom, 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 boom. So if we close that, if we go up to the top of the screen, here's the full-on info links display. And this has every material, every building, every vehicle, every faction, permit, basically every entity in the game. And you can just click on any of these and get a bunch of information about how they're made, where you might be able to buy them in this case, how they can be upgraded, and a little information about the traits. If we choose like a refined product and a recipe, what it's used to make. So here it's showing this is required for lasers, and it's optionally required for these two products. You don't need it, but you can use it for agrochemicals in this case and magnets. And then it shows a co-product here, which means when you refine to get neodymium, you're going to get thorium too, and then you get a byproduct of slag. So this display is super, super cool. Again, it's this info links thing here at the top of the screen. Super useful, and it gives you an idea of the scope of the game, how many products there are, how many different vehicles. Here's all the combat vehicles here. It looks like there's 12 different combat vehicles that you can use. Very, very cool. Also, while we're looking at displays, let's take a look at the tech tree. Every good factory game's got one. So here we can see the different products that you need to unlock before you can manufacture them. We got wire here. Shows you how you can make it. Aluminum, copper, or tungsten. And then there's a little icon here showing you what this product is for. So this one says lucrative, which makes me think this is mainly a trade material. So you manufacture it and you can trade it and get money. Down the road here, we've got a forge, and this icon shows the different goods that the forge will produce once you unlock it. All pretty cool. Proximity mines. Shows that it's a trap with medium damage, and you can build it on sand. So here is the tech tree. I'll just scroll off to the right here. Quite a bit. Not too bad. Not too bad. Look at this. And then way at the end, we've got passenger rocket. It says passenger capacity of 50,000. That's got to be a pretty huge rocket to fit 50,000 people in it. And then you got the orbital warship. It looks like the ultimate battle weapon here. Unlimited range and takes missiles, which produce high damage, very high accuracy, 30 rounds per minute. I'm not sure what that 3 rounds per good is. Targets ground vehicles, aircraft, and structures. It's probably everything. Very cool at the end of the tech tree there. Nice. Also, while we're looking at the displays, up top you can see a list of all of the structures that you've built and what their status is, what they're currently working on making. If it's solar and wind power generation. You can see if they're generating power or not. These all say generating no power. I'm guessing that's because the game's paused. Let me unpause and take a look at that again. Yeah, now they're producing power. It shows the efficiencies. And then you can filter this list of buildings by the type up at the top of the screen. So a lot of work's been put into the interface. Looks pretty cool. Here's the similar thing for your vehicles. So I've got 3 cargo transports, 4 excavators, and a couple rovers in this particular game save. All very cool. What else we got up top? Game settings, time of day. I don't know if there's anything I can do with that. Pause the game. I will do. And then we saw the info links and we saw the research. A couple other things in the GUI. Up here at the top left, there are a few different views you can choose from. Here's the resource view. I guess that just brings up these resource icons, right? Yeah. And that allows us to maybe click on these. And again, you can jump into the info links to find out what ammonia ice is all about. It already tells us it refines into high explosive. And there's a pollution view. So pollution's a thing in the game. There are ways to produce it, obviously, and there are ways to remediate it. What else we got? Temperature. Not sure where that comes into play yet. I haven't gotten that far where temperature is a factor, but there's a display that shows that, an overlay. And then wind. So that's kind of cool. The game has, I'll hit play again. The game has wind turbines. That's what they look like, as well as solar arrays. It's just one big solar farm block that you place down. So you got a wind display here, which will tell you where strategically you should probably be putting your turbines. Of course, mine are all in the least windy area, as per design. No, I didn't even know the wind display existed when I placed these turbines. But that's pretty cool. Let's see what else. You start the game out with a loan. So when you first start playing, you are in debt. I believe it's like $40,000, and you need to pay that loan back. Here at the top left, we can kind of see what our bank balance is, how much we're bringing in a day. It looks like my little colony here is not very profitable. We're losing $1,071 a day. But as you bring in money from trade, these different trade contracts, you'll offset that and you'll be able to make money. So I can't show everything in an early preview. I just want to give you guys a good idea of what this game is all about. But let's take a look at 2 more things and then we'll wrap up. Let's look at how the trade works. That's one of the main ways of making money. So over here at the top right, we've got a couple trade requests. Let's take a look at one of these. How about this guy here? How about the blinking one? These guys want building frames. Let's look at where they're at. Click the little magnifying glass. Boom. Okay, they want us to deliver building frames to this building here, which is quite a ways away from our little base, but we can do it. Building frames I've got, I think, in this warehouse here. You can see I've got 49 saved. I'm going to grab a cargo truck here. Boom. I'll clear out what he was currently working on. Cargo transport. I'm going to set a filter here to say deliver building frames. And now I'm going to say right click on my warehouse. Pick them up there. Find that building again, which was way out here, I think. Right click on that. Set as a drop off point. Let's hit play. There goes our cargo truck. Loads up 50 at a time, I believe. We took 49, and that's all we had in here. Let's see. Are we able to produce more? I think I'm out of the material I need to actually make more building frames. No, I can get it from here. I'm going to take one of my excavators that's sitting idle. Grab some of this limestone sand. You can see it turns into concrete. Grab that, and I'm going to send it into here. Boom. Okay, thanks for the building frames. Enjoy the extra 1900 credits, basically. So that's kind of how trade can work. We could also have run these tubes here. So this is how we transport materials kind of instead of conveyor belts. These are called maglev tubes. And they operate on a demand kind of model. So if a building or destination requires input, requires a product from the maglev network, then it will be sent. Let's look at this little starter factory that I've got going here, and I can kind of explain what's going on. We've got a trading partner over here, kind of on a neighbor territory. We just saw how we interact with those. I've got a warehouse here where I'm collecting trash from my trading partners. They will pay us to collect their trash. And then I've got 3 basically smokestacks just incinerating that material and generating pollution. But it brings in some cash. We already saw the wind turbine. Here I've got a warehouse where I'm bringing in limestone. I feed that to 3 smelter buildings. These are all set right now to produce, I believe it's concrete blocks. They're full. They all feed into a warehouse here that stores concrete blocks, and I'm also delivering water ice directly to this building too. Then I've got another smelter here. This guy is pulling from the warehouse and producing silica. Not sure why he's not getting any silica. It could be this belt has just got too much stuff on it. And then that silica was being sent down actually to our research lab. That research has been completed, so it doesn't need any silica. And then the belt also, or these maglev tubes, also go into a factory here, I believe. And this factory is set to produce the building frames. It's got to clear out some of this clog. So out comes our concrete blocks into another factory that is using concrete to produce the building frames. And then those building frames are put into storage. And then they're also being sent down into, I have a blink going down into our research lab because we were using those for research before too. Got some solar panel arrays here. Those are all linked together with power poles, basically. And that's pretty much it. Here come my excavators bringing material from wherever they were mining. Click on one of these. Let me pause. See what these guys are carrying. This one has water ice, and this one has water ice as well. So they're bringing that over to one of these warehouses to be processed. All pretty cool. And we're just on one little tiny square. I mean, the map gets to be huge. I haven't encountered enemies yet in this little playthrough. This one's about, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half into the game. But that should give you an idea kind of what you're doing. Very familiar, very common to other factory automation games. Again, maglev tubes instead of conveyor belts, but you also have the option of using those cargo vehicles I showed and deliver cargo that way and set up automated routes with vehicles. Later on, there are, I believe, the equivalent of helicopters or spaceships. We are on the moon of Jupiter, I believe, or one of Saturn's moons, I think. Where are the vehicles? Cargo, yeah, look at all these different options for cargo. Quadcopter, cargo transport, that's the one we saw. Cargo crawler, I imagine that's got way more capacity. Cargo copter, airship, cargo speeder, cargo rocket, and armored transport. Very cool. Like I said, I haven't gotten to the enemy part yet, where we're going to have to set up defenses and things. But that should give you a pretty good overview of what this game is all about. Again, I'm going to have a Let's Play series on this that should be posting to the channel soon. Definitely look for that. I'll put a link to that in the description once it's up. But yeah, this is MegaFactory Titan. Again, I've been playing it for maybe 3 hours total. I'm having a ton of fun. Like I said, I think it really shows all the work that's gone into it. I mean, look at all the stuff that we're going to be able to play with. Not to mention the tech tree interaction with space here, with passenger rockets, nuclear plants, all very cool. So that's pretty much it. Just want to thank, again, channel members and patrons. Your contributions help make this content possible. I really appreciate it. If anyone else wants to help contribute, there's links to do so in the description. And then if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. That helps my tiny channel grow. Really enjoy bringing these game finds to you, getting them on your radar. If you're a factory gamer like me, then you're pretty excited about this one as much as I was when I first caught a glimpse of it. And again, we'll be seeing more of this on the channel. for now, this is Glidercat saying thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.